Hey, I'm Greg Gifford, the Vice President of Search at US-based SEO agency Wikimotive. In this 6th lesson of the local SEO course, we're going to be talking about reviews and why they matter for local SEO. Reviews aren't just important to potential customers, they're a big factor in Google's local algorithm. Remember, Google's local algorithm has always been entity-based, and customer reviews are basically crowdsourced entity data. Think about how you decide on a local business. You're going to read their reviews. You want to see what other people think. Studies have shown that people now trust online reviews from strangers as much as they trust a review from a friend or family member. If a business has bad reviews, you're much less likely to go there. Google's algorithm uses reviews the same way. If a business has bad reviews, it's less likely to show up higher in search results. Google doesn't just look at your total review score. The number of reviews matters, as does the overall sentiment of what reviewers have said. In fact, if certain keywords tend to appear in your reviews, you'll be more likely to show up for those keywords. Google also considers review velocity. If you get a few reviews here and there, that's a natural pattern. If you get a massive number of reviews on a single day, and then no reviews for weeks or even months afterwards, it's an unnatural pattern and Google might look more closely. The most important step is to simply care about customer service. If you're providing an awesome customer experience, you're gonna get good reviews. If you don't care about your customers, you're gonna get bad reviews. Businesses that are scared to put effort into reviews and reputation management because they're worried about bad reviews are typically businesses that know they're going to get bad reviews. If you fix your internal problems and give great customer service, you don't have to be worried about bad reviews. In fact, 1 or 2 bad reviews helps you look more real. No one expects any business to have a perfect review score. Everyone knows that sometimes the ball gets dropped, or sometimes some customers having a bad day. A few bad reviews here and there is natural. When you start to see consistent bad reviews that mention the same problem, you know there's something to worry about. In fact, several studies have shown that you don't want a perfect review score. The sweet spot is a review score between 4.2 and 4.5. In that range, you've got a good score overall, but a few bad reviews here and there. No one will think your reviews are fake, and you're more likely to attract customers. Think again about when you're deciding on a local business or even reading reviews on a particular product. What's the first thing you do when you look at the reviews? You change the sort filter so you can read the bad reviews. You want to read about the bad experiences that people had and how the businesses responded. It's also important to acquire reviews on different sites. Even though Google reviews are the most prominent, since they show front and center when someone searches for your business, you need reviews on other sites as well. It's not natural for all of your customers to leave every review on Google. Google's algorithm expects that your reviews will be spread among multiple review sites. Besides Google, you need to get reviews on Facebook, any industry-specific review sites, and whichever review site feeds Apple Maps. In the US, that's Yelp. Even though Yelp is primarily used for restaurants and hospitality-type businesses, Apple made a deal with Yelp. So the reviews that show for businesses in Apple Maps come from the business's Yelp profiles, not from Google. You don't want to have a great score with a lot of reviews on Google, only to show on Apple Maps as having a handful of reviews and a 2-star rating. How many customers will pull out their iPhones to get directions and then only decide they're not going to come see you when they've seen your low score? Outside of the US, Apple Maps review stars could come from several different review sites. It's different in every country, and it's even different between verticals. So to find out which site matters for your business, search for a few of your important keywords on Apple Maps and check out all of the businesses that are listed, and then see where the reviews come from. You might see TripAdvisor, Booking.com, Foursquare, or some other site listed as the source. Yelp will always be the default, so if you don't have reviews on the site that feeds your business, Apple Maps will show your Yelp score instead. Google reviews will always be the most important because, as I mentioned a minute ago, they're front and center when people search for you. You want to be sure that you've got a great score. hopefully in that 4.2 to 4.5 range, and you want to be sure that you've got more reviews than your competitors. It's not that hard to get good reviews. You just have to make it easy for customers to leave reviews, and you have to ask every customer. It's not really human nature to leave good reviews. If I'm at a restaurant and I'm having a fish taco and I take a bite and there's a Band-Aid in it, you could be damn sure I'm going to leave the restaurant a bad review. But if it's the best fish taco I've ever had, it's not that likely that I'll leave a review. However, if the waiter walks by and notices that I'm really enjoying my fish taco and asks how it is, and I'd probably say something like, "It's the best fish taco I've ever had," the waiter would then say, "Hey man, I'm glad you're enjoying your food. I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave us a review." And then I'd almost definitely be leaving a review. So, asking every customer is the key. But you need to make sure they don't have to work too hard to leave that review. You need to set up a page on your site to send the customers to, something like yourdomain.com/reviews. That way, every staff member knows where to send customers, and it's an easy URL to remember. On that reviews page, you need to have a short message thanking the customer for doing business with you and asking them to rate their experience with you. You then ask them to leave the review on the site that they choose, and you list several options of review sites. Each link would send the customer directly to your profile on the review site so they can easily leave the review. This is a much better process than simply asking for a review and hoping the customer can figure out where to go on Google, and then how to log in, and then where to click to leave that review. The easier you make it for customers to leave a review, the more reviews you're going to get. It's also important to follow up your face-to-face review request. If your customers check out at a register, display a sign with the same message and that review URL. If not, it's easy to print out business cards or even branded postcards with a thank you message and a link to your reviews page. You can even follow up with an email request and include that same link. You also need to monitor all of your review sites so you know when new reviews are received. It's important to respond to every review. Yes, even the positive reviews should get a response. Google alerts reviewers when the business responds to their reviews. So if someone takes the time to say something nice about you, you should take the time to write a quick thank you response. It makes the reviewer feel even better about you, and it lets others see that you pay attention to every customer. You don't have to answer those positive reviews immediately. If you spend maybe 1 day a week responding, that's perfectly fine. With negative reviews, you need to respond as quickly as possible. When you're writing a reply, understand that that reply is not really for the person who left the bad review. It's for the rest of the world who wants to see how you handled a bad situation. Sure, you should do your due diligence and contact that customer and try to make things right, but your response needs to let everyone else know that you care. Don't make the common mistake of saying the same simple reply to every bad review. If every bad review gets the same, "We're sorry you had a bad experience. We strive to provide great customer service. Please call us at 867-5309. You actually look lazy, or at best, like you don't care much about your bad reviews. Be honest in your reply. If somebody dropped the ball, admit it and let everyone know how you came back and made things right. Being honest and real goes a long way. It should be common sense, but don't fake bad reviews. It's against Google's terms of service and the terms of service of every review site, and many times it's against the law. It's usually pretty easy for Google to detect fake reviews, and often it's easy for humans to detect them as well. If your reviews look fake to potential customers, you'll lose business. But more importantly, if you get caught, you'll be penalized by Google and even potentially face massive fines. So that's it for lesson 6 of the local SEO course. We hope you learned something awesome. If you've got any questions, feel free to tweet them to me directly at Greg Gifford, or to the awesome team of pros over at the SEMrush Academy at SEMrush Academy. Don't forget to check out the next lesson on Google My Business. And when you think you're ready, head over to the SEMrush Academy page and take the test for this course so you can get officially SEMrush certified in local SEO.